Ripped from the tapestry of history, this is Threads of the War, personal, truth-inspired flash fiction of the 20th century's war. I'm Jeremy Strozer. Maternity.
Wrinkled, tiny fingers from a fist the size of an acorn grip almost all the way around my thumb. Eyes of deep blue inquiry stare up at me within the incubator. Welcome to a broken world, little one. Glancing over at the incubator's display, I see the power levels, right where they need to be. The temperature a little low and humidity high. As my right hand moves to adjust these levels, the ground violently throws my feet into the air, a fraction of a second before the sound of shattering glass breaks the rhythmic pulse of the heart monitors. Pure, black darkness envelopes everything as my body crashes down on the hard linoleum floor of the prenatal intensive care unit. What just happened? The sounds of shattering glass are replaced by screams from every direction. Women's screams, children's screams, men's screams. Everyone is screaming. I feel around my prone body gingerly, hoping to touch something for orientation. My left front is on the ground, so my back must be up. As my right hand sweeps the hard surface before me, I remember my left hand had just been connected to the premature baby in the incubator. Yulia, where is this dear child now? How can I make sure she's safe? I stop sweeping with my right hand so the left can search for Yulia. Where are you, sweetheart? Where could she be? I can't see a thing in this pitch blackness. Someone, bring a light, I yell, hoping to be heard above all the others screaming. I know Lara was just out in the hall. Maybe she'll hear me? Raising myself to my knees, I'm able to sweep with both hands. As they glide across the cold floor, I touch thrown instruments, tissue boxes, and other detritus until I contact a downed cart. There were 3 in the room. Only one was occupied. Please, be Julia's. Rubbing up the leg of the cart, I can feel the cold metal of its solid construction give way to the plastic, which encases the not yet ready for the real world baby. Please, be in this one, Yulia. The left access hole had been opened, allowing me to reach in to interact with her, so I feel for the hole. As my hand brushes for the access hole, I come across a large crack in the casing, scratching myself on its jagged edge. This can be good. This poor child. If it's correct, she could have been thrown out. Just then, more screaming in the hall interrupts my thoughts of the child. I don't want to think about what's happening out there. All that matters right now is what's in here. Luckily, the crack is small, coming to an end quickly as my hand continues across the surface in search for the access hole. I find it, tenderly reaching in to feel for Yulia. As I reach farther into the tiny enclosed chamber, I come across soft tissue. Could this be you, sweetheart? Please, be you. Before I have the chance to see, a bright light shines in from the right of me. We have to get out of here, a stern female voice declares. Who is that? Where is Lara? Is this the child? Blinded by the light, I keep feeling for the child. Is there movement? Is there warmth? There is warmth. It is Yulia. As my eyes adjust, I see before me, in a beam of light, the premature baby encased in the upright cart, staring up at me with those deep blue eyes of her own. You are a lucky dear, I softly murmur. What was that? The person holding the light asks. I found the child. Help me bring the incubator out of this room, I demand. I can't see the holder of the light. Who is holding the light? The beam begins changing angles from up to down, left to right, as its holder makes her way toward me. As she approaches, I can see her face. Do I know you? She's close enough. Now the light beam illuminates our shared space with Yulia. I see her face, and she mine. Why are you looking at me like you see a ghost? Could this be Lara? The woman's face, shoulders, and torso are covered in blood. Her neck seems off somehow. She looks down at the child. Let's get her out of here, she offers. Yes, please, lead the way, I respond, still touching the child's warm flesh. I look down one more time. Julia's eyes are shifting back and forth between me and the woman with the light. You'll be okay, dear. We just need to follow the woman with the light. We will be all right, the woman says sternly. Yes, you will be all right, I respond, while pushing the incubator cart forward toward the light.
On Wednesday, March 9, 2022, the Russian Air Force bombed Maternity Hospital No. 3 in Mariupol, Ukraine, during an agreed ceasefire meant to allow civilians safe passage out of the besieged city. The 3 buildings of the complex, a maternity hospital, a children's hospital, and a children's therapy building, were all destroyed in the blast, killing 4, injuring 16, and leading to 1 stillbirth. A massive bomb had blasted out all of the windows, shattered walls, and left a crater in the central courtyard deeper than 2 full-grown men. Russia claimed the hospital was a legitimate target because they thought military forces were using it as a shelter. An investigation conducted by the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe in April of that year concluded the hospital was clearly identifiable and operational, and that the Russian forces therefore perpetrated a war crime. The investigative team's statement declared, and I quote, "The mission therefore concludes that the hospital was destroyed by a Russian attack. Based upon Russian explanations, the attack must have been deliberate. No effective warning was given and no time limit set. This attack therefore constitutes a clear violation of international humanitarian law, and those responsible for it have committed a war crime." Unquote. This is from the OSCE report of April 13, 2022, pages 46 and 47. During the Syrian civil war, Russian and Syrian government forces used the same tactic in their campaign against anti-government forces, focusing on the destruction of hospitals, medical facilities, and other civilian infrastructure in areas not under control of the Syrian government. This is from reports from Human Rights Watch from October 15, 2020, Al Jazeera on June 7, 2022, The New York Times October 13, 2019, and Time Magazine March 3, 2021. In war, you have a choice of what to attack. Those who make those choices are responsible for the attacks they conduct. Those who have made these choices must be brought to justice. If you enjoy these threads of personal experience in war, please consider becoming a patron of this work at patreon.com/threads of the war. You may find my books and other work at jeremystrozer.com or wherever books are sold. If you are interested in turning notes, memories, or memoirs of a relative into a living history through such work, please reach out to me at jeremy@jeremystrozer.com. May the lessons of history compel the world toward peace. Thank you.